Welcome back, everyone. This is Stacy with Crafty Dragon Creations. Welcome back to the crafting lair. Let's get started on our project. Okay, so I'm going to continue to work on my paper bag journal. I have covered a lot more pages in here because I figured that would kind of be boring to just watch me continuously tear and cover pages, but I'll kind of show you as I go along some stuff I've done. I did want to show you though, I took that beaded spine off. I hated it. It was in my way. I didn't like it. This is kind of crooked, but I think I'm going to eventually cover that. But I will do that probably at the end, just so I can kind of gauge, you know, what I do and stuff like that. But yeah, I took that off. Didn't like it. We'll try again later. All right, so I don't remember everything I did in my last video. I think you haven't seen this. This is a little pocket that I put there. I covered this side in just some various washi tapes. Made this little up tuck on there. Covered that. Oops. This is a pocket here, and I don't remember if this was in my other video, but there's a pocket there. I have a plan for that, and I have a plan for this, and I have a plan for that. This was another page I covered, and I think, yeah, I cut the top open to have a top loading pocket here. I haven't done those yet. I have a plan for that. I put some washi tape here to cover the sewing of the spine. I made this into a flap, and so we can put stuff in there, and because this is so big, this way the stuff won't fall out. So I did that. I have a plan for that. I have a pocket here. Did I make that? No. Okay. Oh, this one though, I did do some more holographic embossing on some of those little crystal pieces. So there's that. And I was just kind of messing around and made a little paper clip, page tab. I don't know, I haven't decorated it, but I made it. Mostly I made it for this because when this is closed, this sticks out, and so I don't want to like tear that up. So that's going to be kind of like my buffer. So I covered that. I covered this. You can see a lot of this is not straight. The bag is not in there straight. But I didn't want to correct it after I took out the beaded spine because I had already glued all this down, and I thought I'm just going to mess everything up. So we're just going to have crooked stuff, and that's okay. I covered the back of this because I didn't like that stamping that I did. So put some backing on there. I made this little flip out page, and I just put some lines on the back so that can be written on. Haven't done anything here yet. Covered that one. There's the other piece of that. And I made this a top loading pocket as well. Covered these two. I love the little mouse, he's so cute. And I did go ahead and cover this one. Nothing there yet. And then I have this. This is a pocket, and I also made this a pocket. And then nothing on the back yet. So that's what I did. So now I'm going to actually make some fun stuff. And as you saw, I had notes in here of what I'm going to do. So hopefully, oh, also, I think I've decided I'm going to put handles on this. So I will probably put these in here since I've already covered the back side. I put those in there on that, and then this one I'll put on the back. Because it's a paper bag journal, it needs to have paper bag handles, right? So we'll do that. I'll probably do that towards the end as well, but I just wanted to show you I did have an idea for that. All right, so this bag I've decided is way too open and too loose. I could glue this down like I've done, but it's still pretty, you know, floppy, and I really think anything that's in there is probably going to fall out. So here's what I'm going to try. And I may totally botch this, but I am going to cut the gussets on both sides. Yep, okay, I'm going to cut both of these gussets. So let's just go ahead and do that now. And this is how I'm going to try and do it. Okay. Not perfectly straight, but not horrible. Okay. So now I have two separate things here. So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to take one of these papers and make a back for this. So this will be a pocket. I will probably glue this together, and that still might be a little too loose. So I may end up, I kind of like that you can see through that though. I was going to say I may end up putting something on here, but I don't know now. And then this one, I was going to do the same thing and just put it like this. But I kind of like that is see-through. I could do two different papers, which would make that more sturdy. Or wait, I just had an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so let's take these two. And if we glue them together, glue both of these to that, then we have a pocket on this side and a pocket on this side. And then that can kind of stick out a little bit. Let's try that. If this becomes too floppy, I can always glue it, you know, a little bit further in so that it's not so weak. But I kind of like this idea. And luckily, these two pages are pretty perfect in size. So I'm going to ink around all this, and I'll cut that part out, and then we'll get to getting it in there. Okay, so I have put these two together and cut it down to size. So let's see, do I want to go, man, I could add another pocket there. I don't, but that's a lot. There's enough in here, and I'm going to be adding more anyway, so Okay. So let's do that. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So here we go. And I want this to be tight. So, because this, like I said, this paper is pretty thin and weak. So, let's see. I'm going to burn myself on that candle. But I like it. It gives a nice aesthetic. Okay. Plus it smells good. All right, so we would have that. So, let me see. Let's take a thing here. All right, well, I think if we put a sturdy enough thing in there, because I'll definitely lose real estate if I glue those down. But, okay, we're going to leave it. I may end up changing my mind later, but for now, that's how it's going to stay. So this is definitely something I've never tried before, and I've never seen before. I'm sure it's probably been done out there somewhere, but all right. There we go. So there's that, and there's that, and I need to let that dry before I start messing with it. And then of course we can always decorate, but I meant the outside here, but we really don't have to. We don't have to do anything, right? But you can see through that, and I think that looks kind of cool. I could always put stuff up there because you can't really see through that up there. Yeah, I think that's kind of neat. Okay. So, see, even if I plan things, things change. It happens. All right, so, oh yeah, this one, so this is where I cut out that mushroom. This is where I cut that out. And I wanted to, I thought that would make a cute little pocket with the little notch already cut out. I just need to even it up and back it. Where is my book? Where's my book? Let me find my book. Here we go. I use book page to make my stuff sturdier and stronger. Bad thing about this is I'm then going to have to cut around that. Or not. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Let's see here. I put that. Yeah, maybe I'll just cut straight across. Oh, wait. I was thinking this was going to be open. I don't know. Don't do as I say. I mean, don't do as I do. Okay, that's fine. We can cut it out again. I ain't scared. Well, I kind of am, but we got this. Okay, so I want to make that even. Is that even? I think it's a little crooked. So let me cut this part. We'll see how straight that's not. Okay, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna cut this part, then this I can cut straight. There we go. So that's a little off center, but that's okay. I'm using up scraps. There we go. Not bad, not bad. And if we use a lighter color ink to hide the white, but don't really accentuate the mistakes, then we're good. And look, that's too big. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of fold this in half. Yeah, that one's too big. Just so I can kind of cut the same amount off each side. I don't really know how much to cut off there yet. Okay, we need a little more. Still just a little more. I think I'm just gonna take it off this side, and that should center that up a little bit, maybe. Okay, let's try that. That fits better. I don't know. Now looking at it, I don't want to cover that. That's too... Well, I don't know what I was thinking, why I wanted to cover that up, but I don't really want to cover that up. Okay, so let's do this. What if we just made it more shallow? Because I mean, anything we put in there is going to cover it up as well, but yeah, that's better. That's better. Ink. Oh. Okay. We're going to go for that. And, oh, I know why I wanted to put a pocket here, because this didn't come all the way down. So I kind of wanted to cover that up down there. Okay. I was just looking at this. The library was his favorite room in the house. I need to keep that because that's kind of a neat little sentiment there for reading journals. So then decorate this. I've got some little fussy cuts over here somewhere. Kind of made a little mess over here. I can do those cool eyes. Okay, let's do that. That's pretty cool. Okay, I could have left them together, but I didn't want that part in there, so plus I can separate them a little more. By the way, I'm using Shabby Shutters to ink these. Okay. Now, should I put them together or separate them out? Together. I kind of like them together, I think. I want to put something behind there as well. Let's get some trusty old cheesecloth. And let's see here. Don't like, this is like weird over here. I don't quite understand what's happening. Okay. All right, let me cut some of that off. Cut off that weird twisted part. Here we go. And glue that down. And then glue our little eyes on there. That'll work. Okay, so I'm just gonna use some glue stick just to tack this down. That tack down right there. And then let's see. These are so cool. I love oddities like this. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then we have a cool little pocket there. Okay, so we got that. This one, okay. This one I want to make the top have some slotted pockets. So, first thing I want to do is put this on some book page. And I think I'm actually going to glue 2 book pages together. There's extra sturdiness. Okay. Then we can glue this on. like that. All right, and I'm going to want to let that dry. Otherwise, when I go to try to cut it, it will tear. Plus, I want to be able to rip this off. So, we're going to let that dry and we'll come back to that. So, my next plan, oh yeah, so this one, because this is so big and kind of, you know, put stuff in there, it could fall out. Excuse me. I'm going to make 3 side pockets, and I'm going to make it fit some specific tags that are in the kit. So I have these 2. So those will go there, and then I want a smaller one for a smaller tag. So we'll have like side tucks or side pockets with tags. Now, because these are not quite tall enough to really stick out, I mean, I could put toppers on there, but it kind of goes down a little too far. So, I just had an idea. Dang it. I could cut this, which would be the easy thing to do. However, when I was planning this, I made a line here, and this is about where I want the tags to stop. And I want to stitch here so that the tags stop. And I know I'm going to be wasting kind of this little part here, which is why really trimming the top off would have been better. But I've already done this, and I even poked the holes, and I want to have some stitching in here, so I'm just going to slow stitch it by hand, and we can put some washi or decorate that or something down there. But I just thought it would be cool to stitch it, and I have a piece of thread here. So I'm going to get my needle, and as you can, I don't know if you can see how I've poked the holes. They're about 1/4 inch apart, so I'm just going to do a quick little running stitch. I can't believe I didn't think to just cut the top off, but you know, that's how things go. So I'll probably either cut this part out or speed it up, because this is going to take a minute. All right, so I have this stitched, so that's what it looks like on both sides. And as I was doing that, and I kept thinking about how silly it was that I didn't just cut the top off, I thought, you know, I could still make use of this and put pockets on the outside as well. So, you know, if I used, say, like this little thing, and it came down, made a pocket, but I don't want to cover all that up, so I wouldn't, you know, I would just do as much as that would still show some of the stitching, although we also have stitching on the other side. So either way, that's not going to be wasted. So I refuse to let it be wasted. All right, so let me cut this off here. So I want to have that tag there, and this tag. I'll trim that down a little bit. This one to go in there. And then This one will go in the center, and that one's a little short as well, but that's okay. Well, it's not as short as it would have been. All right, and I will make a tag topper, so we'll still see that. So now I need a pencil. I need to figure out where I want or need I'm just kind of using my fingernail to make a little indentation there, so I kind of see where these tags are. Because I think I'm going to stitch up as well. Because I was just going to put a bead of glue in there, but I think I want to stitch in there too. So let's do this. Just draw real lightly there. And so I can figure out where that was again. I think there. So let's see how we did. Goes over to there. Okay, I think this one is off. It's supposed to be, oh yeah. This is like an erasable gel pencil pen thing. This, of course it's Kuromi, but this is supposed to erase it, but oh yeah, that does better. Okay. I didn't know if like an actual eraser would do anything or not. But there's no lead. It looks like a ballpoint pen, but it's erasable. It's really cool. Okay. Trying to make my line straight. Okay. So there's that. I have my lines marked. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that I did on that other line. And I'm going to mark every 1/4 inch. Okay, and then what I did, or what I'm gonna do, is take my needle and go ahead and poke my holes. It's very helpful so that you can see where they are on both sides. It also help to get them a little straighter. I don't know, not much about me is straight, so. All right, so I'm going to finish this up, and I will stitch it, and then I will come back and show you how it looks. Alrighty, so we have it stitched. I do need to go in here and erase these lines. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I haven't tested it yet to see if my things fit, but let me get this. Okay, I still need to do the other one, but that's okay. All right, so oh, come on. There's paint in here, and I think it's catching on some loose paint. There we go. I'm gonna have to like tape inside there or something. All right, and then this one over here. And then this one in the middle. Cute. And then I can take some other papers that I have over here somewhere, and we can make pockets, you know, that go all the way down, or just there, as we'll see the stitching on the other side too. So I want my work shown. All right, so I want to fix this in here. Yeah, see, there's some paint that's coming off. Okay, where's my tape? Whoops. I see. I feel you down in there. I think it's actually maybe where I folded the bag. All right, let's see if that did it. Yeah, it's a little better. I think I may also round the edges. Sometimes that helps too, because these corners can be kind of sharp and they like to catch. So we'll just do a small little rounding of the corner here. And I've already made a hole there, so it's, I don't know if you can see it, but just that hole. Okay. Well, if I'd have known this was going to be a pain, I would have done this before I stitched it, so I could actually kind of see where I'm going with this stuff here. Now I'm probably going to cover up that little hole, so that will help. Yeah. See, it's coming out right there. So I think once I get something on there, there's something else over here. Oh, man. All right. And I know there's a little hole there, but that shouldn't, I feel like I'm not even making it to that point yet. Can't even see. I can't see down in there. Ah. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a piece of tape there on the outside. Okay, so that's better. Still not ideal, but that's better. Okay. So there's that one. Let me go ahead and round this corner. Yeah. Okay. Mucho better. All right, so I will do something with that probably in a later video, but I want to, before this video gets way too long, I want to come back to this. Okay. And I think, so I have this line stencil, and I think that will work in making my little slots here. I don't want them obviously to come all the way over. So I have, if you're wondering, yeah, I think you guys can see, I can see through here. So there's about a 1/2 inch on that side. You know what, I think it will be easier for me to just do some measuring, even though I hate it, even though we all hate it. We hate it. Okay. Stop complaining. It'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna come in a 1/2 inch on this side and a 1/2 inch on this side. And then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna come in a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch. And we're gonna do this. Okay. Then we're gonna do that. All right, so then let's see. I can do, okay, let's do every 1/2 inch going down as well. So we'll have one there, and there, and there, and there. So that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, could be 6 slots. So we're gonna try that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hope this is straight. Okay. Now, I don't want these to just be a single little, you know, I want it to have some room. So maybe that's where my stencil will come in handy. So I'm going to line up my lines, possibly to about the middle. No, I can't really see that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So my top one is okay. So this one, okay, I'm gonna come down one little mark on my ruler here. I think that's probably a 1/16. I'm not for sure. Oh, I need to do it on this side. Okay. Okay. So that's what I have. So I'm going to cut out these. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to leave it in the book because then it won't move. And I don't care if I cut through. I don't have to worry about a mat. So I think I have a smaller. Here we go. I'm going to use this. It's because it's smaller and not fiddling with my big ruler there. Okay, so I'm going to take my craft knife and cut there. And cut there. So I want to make sure. So they've both gone through. Now what I'm going to do is, I know this seems like a lot. I want to put tape on this side. So that kind of makes that a little sturdier when putting things in and out. So I can just go back through here and kind of slice that through the tape. Okay, then I can cut this side. See if I got it all the way through. Yeah. And that's that. So now you can see I have a hole, and the tape makes that a little more sturdy. So if I can gauge where my tape is, I can put it on first. And I'm not doing that twice. Okay. Need that out so far. And these may not be perfect, and that's okay. Yeah, they're not gonna be perfect because I can't cut anything straight or even with a ruler. I guess I should have measured that one. We're just gonna take a little eyeball guess here, because this isn't straight anyway. Okay. Also, I didn't put tape on this side, so could also be why it didn't seem to really work as well. All right, so now I'm going to take this off and see if I can kind of fix this. And I shouldn't be cutting on my glass. Ugh, I'm totally messing this up. Let me get my book back here. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Now let's see if I can use my tearing ruler. Just gonna butt up right against the side here. Okay. Careful not to tear off my, or tear up my slots there. Oh, that was painful. All right, one more. Maybe I should go this way. All right. Let me erase my lines. And I'm erasing the ink on my paper as well. That's weird. Okay. Now I'm going to ink. I don't know if I can get in here, but let's see. This one is still kind of messed up a little bit. Now it's really crooked, but it's all right. It's okay. Okay, now put it on our page, which was here. Like that. And we can leave the top open, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little slots. And I think I'm going to use double-sided tape here rather than glue, so I can get this in there. Where it is, there it is. Okay. And there we go. Yay. So then if I have stuff, now all of these go all the way to the bottom, so keep that in mind, but there we go. Okay. I'm happy with that. All right, I'm going to stop there on this one. Clean up my mess a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me on this craft with me and having fun in my paper bag journal. I have more ideas to come, so I'm not done yet. So I hope you will stick with me and subscribe so you know when I've uploaded a new video. And yeah, I think that's it. My link tree is down below, so you can follow me on other social platforms. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.